You are now tuned into episode 77 of the DIP, the D-I-P-P Dads in Progress podcast. I go by the name of Ski, a.k.a. Filipino Grigio, a.k.a. Mr. Cozy Wear, a.k.a. Quentin Tarantino. Here with both my co-hosts and 2/3 of the podcast. I got my man Sport playing all fields and all courts, a.k.a. Hefe Horn, Chap over the cheeks, Don at the behind, Chaplin in the back end. Also got my man Hev Hefner, a.k.a. Canary Hev, a.k.a. Humbly Hev, a.k.a. Mr. Hev, a.k.a. the 42-year-old Phenom, Heavy Robinson, Hev Lee, Aoki Balboa.
Somebody else with 42. We gotta find some more 42 people. Hev Baker. Hev Baker.
What David Baker number?
Yeah, he did definitely wear that. Hev Coleman, Derek Coleman.
No.
Yeah, Rick Coleman.
Derek Coleman was a drunk, wasn't he? Well.
Aoki Balboa.
There you go.
How we feeling? How we doing? Shout out to the women with real baby hairs and not toddler baby hairs that they pass off as baby hairs. Shout out to the scammers. Shout out to all the listeners of the podcast. We love y'all.
I'm glad we doing shout outs this week.
Please remember to get your tickets for the May 11th Dads in Progress podcast game night, 2nd year anniversary celebration at an undisclosed location. We will not be telling you unless you buy a ticket. You have to buy a ticket. Or else, what you think? You just gonna walk up and go? No, we're not letting you in. You're not even gonna know where it's at.
Not happening.
Thank you for all the people who purchased tickets though too. Like a couple people ran it up. We appreciate y'all.
For sure.
Y'all in the door.
I think pre-sale is done. Yeah, pre-sale is done at this point.
Yeah.
You know, we still want to have dip punch for y'all. Don't get me wrong. You're just not gonna get a complimentary one. You're not gonna get a complimentary merch, but we'll have something for y'all. You still gonna have a good time. You still gonna be able to be with your partners. So you know, there's that. But
and like we said, it's a limited capacity, so don't come up to the door. Have gonna be at the door.
he gonna let you in.
He's not gonna be at the door forever, so if you come late, you might
it's a
get yeah, but he is gonna be turning motherfuckers away.
I'm not gonna be at the door. I'm be at the party the whole fucking time.
All right, last episode he said I'm gonna be at the door turning people away. Now he changed his mind.
Because I realized after these people that sold up the pre-sales, it's gonna be a situation.
Yeah. And if you got Afterpay or you got Cash App, make sure you get those tickets. I don't want to hear you saying you ain't got $7.50 for this ticket. All right,
Real shit. That's it. 4 payments of $7.50 gets you in the door.
and then on some shit, if you buy them now, you only gotta make 3 payments. You can skip on that last one if you want to. The party already gonna be over. Yeah, for sure.
Fuck your credit.
They ain't ask you for your social when you put that shit in. Yeah, for sure.
All jokes aside, it's gonna be a real good time, man. Just come out, have fun. We gonna be doing. It's a game night, so we are gonna be doing games. It's probably prizes.
Yeah, we gonna.
Yeah,
all right now.
Prizes.
It might be something.
The prize with us.
The prizes might be a hug from your favorite partner.
Yeah, we should like raffle off an episode. Get on the pod. One production. One episode production for free.
Y'all gotta see fucking Ski expressions. Yo, them shits be classical. Like, go back and
we got raffle off some services, man.
Yeah, we gonna give him a hug. Get a hug from your favorite partner.
Your favorite partner.
Yeah.
Yo, what's the name coming through?
Who?
What's my young boys? Yeah, cannons. You gotta bring the cannons through.
I hope so, man. Bring the cannons, come through, man.
They might do security. They don't drink nothing.
Since this game night, y'all gonna play that 1-on-1?
Yeah, y'all can have a 1-on-1 on the.
Or that game of rough, whatever the fuck y'all was playing. Don't play. He said, I don't know about that.
I don't know about that.
I gotta have a sing off at the karaoke room.
Yeah. Oh, I'm definitely going. Yeah. She said, oh.
We having an all Diddy playlist at the karaoke room.
And Phil.
All Diddy, R. Kelly playlist.
Oh, I got the art.
Yo, you catch me in there, I'll be like, yo, you doing it, daddy. You doing it, daddy. You doing it, daddy.
Yeah, I'm
But we definitely gonna vlog. We gonna have some cameras there and stuff like that. It's gonna definitely be a movie.
Yeah, so look your best, man. You're gonna be on, on the reels that we ain't supposed to post.
Or if you can't look your best, just look adequate. Adequate is good too.
I don't give a fuck how you look. Just come. Real shit.
And we will be making an announcement about our next event. there. So if you
That's
there,
it.
you already got the heads up of what's happening next.
We
That's
got this
safe to
shit
say.
rolling. We got shit coming
This shit,
and coming
yeah.
and coming.
Shout out to Ty.
Pause.
Ty got that shit together.
Shout out to Ty.
Yeah.
Ty D manager.
Gucci.
Shout out to Gucci. Over who?
He said.
Shout out to Gucci.
Shout out to my nigga Gucci.
Yeah, y'all got a skincare routine?
Who?
Y'all got a skincare routine?
I just like adopted like a serious skincare routine.
You know what's crazy? My lady make homemade products and shit like that. Like facial and shit. That shit actually worked, but I like when she put it on me. She make me do that shit myself, so I haven't done it in a while.
Oh, all right.
But that shit all natural shit, yeah. Check
Bro.
out K Beauty Care.
There you
on
go.
Instagram.
There you go.
Go, shout
Yeah,
out-
you should have been shout that out. Like the fuck?
Only 77 episodes in. But yeah, shout out to K Beauty.
Boy, I
Care.
tell
Yeah.
you, niggas
man.
ain't shit. I
Ain't
tell
about
you.
when you do it, it's the fact that you do
I
it.
bet she mentioned. I bet she mentioned the pod on her shit. Like, damn, dog.
Like we would just mentioned we have skincare routines. You ain't even try to sell us no products or nothing like
ain't
that.
sell us nothing.
Yeah, she got the beard shit and all that shit.
Oh, do she? We
Shea
I don't
butter.
need
all
that.
that.
well, I have a beard.
Yeah,
Listen, I don't
definitely
need-
shea butter though.
Only
Yeah.
use that shit though. Yeah. But go ahead, what you were saying? You got it.
Oh yeah, I don't need any. Anyway, yeah, continue. I guess. What's your, so what I know your skincare routine. You use your ladies' products that,
Only K
that you
Beauty
just told
Care.
us about. How about you? Which you got?
Only K
You got some lady products that you
You got skin routine? Yeah, I use my woman products. Like,
Well, I'm saying, but does she make the products or you?
the crazy thing she do, she make shea butter.
Wait, what the fuck is going
Yeah,
on
look
here?
at that.
Hey, we in the building.
Everybody making shea butter these days, but no, but I do got like a nice little skincare routine going.
Yeah.
Little what you call it? Collagen, a little collagen.
Yeah, okay. Yeah.
Nice little collagens. A little. I rotate with like some rose petal water
Oh,
one day.
yeah, my man.
And I do I might
got
do a
them
charcoal the other day.
Ain't
Then
got charcoal.
what else we got going? Over the counter I'm using what is it? Carver? Carrot?
Oh,
What is that? The new like
I know what you're talking about.
CARVE or something like that.
Yeah.
So that's
Oh,
my
I know what you're talking about, yeah.
that's my daily, and then that's how I start, and then I rotate things. Even when I shave the bald, there I give it a little rose petal, little spray. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Keep everything
Okay.
copacetic. Yeah. So I got a little routine.
Shout out to y'all. All right, I thought I was the only one.
We got the body scrubs
yeah,
too.
Yeah.
Now we got body
yeah,
scrub.
we
Yeah,
got,
now we got body
yeah, we got them. Yeah, we yeah. I
Sugar, you
guess
got
so.
sugar scrub, body scrub.
Yeah,
what you
yeah,
got?
now we
body
got-
scrubs.
Okay,
C-
aloe vera.
Yeah, you is
CBD.
Oh,
you the-
CBD too.
Now
Oh,
CBD,
wow.
now.
We got
Yo,
a bunch
he's
of
a motherfucker, yo. I'll tell you about this boy.
motherfucker crazy.
You got it all, man.
Like I couldn't use.
What's
none
the
of that
website?
shit.
You have a
Yeah.
website too? What
We have an Instagram, K Beauty Care.
Okay.
On Instagram.
We now he
Yeah, we.
he straight French like Wendy.
What kind of payments do you take? You know.
Yeah,
Cash.
boy, something else, man.
Wow. This is crazy. And the thing is, like, it's not just like an on pod.
You think
thing.
you know
We
somebody,
didn't know
yo.
even off the pod.
Yeah, like-
this-
We didn't know this situation last pod. You know what I mean, everybody got secrets.
I guess. So.
Everybody
guess.
got stuff
I
they don't
guess so.
share all the time. So I know it was a perfect opportunity to plug it. You know, she rebranded and all that. So
Okay. All right.
It was a good time. And we ain't even playing this. So
Oh, shout out to y'all.
Definitely didn't because we didn't
Yeah,
know,
because we
so we
didn't
couldn't
know,
plan.
yeah.
If we knew, we were
We
playing.
would have bought the blamed it. We would
I
have
didn't know
bought
y'all niggas
product.
cared
Like,
about
Yeah.
your skin.
Skincare routine. Like, come
I
on,
know y'all
man.
niggas cared about your
well, anyway, what I use is some hyaluronic acid. You know what I mean? I put that on my skin. Some little vitamin C.
Okay.
Vitamin C, and then I use I get rings around my eyes. I get really tired, so I use the caffeine cream and the hyaluronic. With the I use that.
Okay.
You know, a little bit rose petal water, like he was saying.
What made y'all get into like that? The skincare stuff.
I don't know. I
Just tried it one day.
yeah, I just I felt my face was a little rough one day. You know what I mean? You know how you can't really like maneuver your face the way you want to, like when you like frowning or smiling. So, you know, you feel a little ashy, a little cracky with your skin or whatever. So I was like, let me.
I felt like real, like, you know when somebody put you to shame, like, yo, you just using soap on your face, like, yeah, it's like, yo, you just using soap, that's it. And then it was like, yo, try this, and then when you see how it make you feel, it's like, damn, my shit is glowing today.
Yeah.
I ain't even had to slide over to the filter.
once you do it the first time, you be like,
Yeah,
like I'm gonna keep
see
doing
that
this
glow
shit.
and
Yeah.
She be like, oh,
Only
shit.
thing is like really getting into the habit of like actually continually doing it? And then do you have that time in the morning to do it? Like, you know, so
I used to use the Neutrogena like moisturizing mask, like the overnight joint, and it had the hyaluronic acid on it. But I realized they actually have the cream that I could just put on my finger and spread around, so it's just a little less time consuming. But I used to actually sit with the aloe vera hyaluronic acid mask on my face.
That's what I was saying though. Like anything I bought like over the counter, is like, oh no, that shit ain't good. Because I was a big like what was it? That apricot scrub.
Yeah.
What is it? Not Saint Ives.
Saint Ives.
Yeah. I was a big like component of that, and they're like, well, a lot of that shit is just like over the counter. You need to buy something. It might cost a little bit more, but it might be better for you.
Granted, that stuff is good because you should exfoliate your face. Like you should scrub the dead skin off your face. So it does serve a purpose, but it doesn't do anything from a moisturizing standpoint. It just kind of gets the dead skin off your face.
But I think we introduced to what we see on commercials and what's like the Clean and Clear, the more popular brands, when you really should be using something that costs a little bit more, but ain't got a commercial to it. Like
you should be using women's products. That's exactly what they are. They women's products, but they work the best.
Yeah, they do. But they might not have a commercial, and us as men, we just look like, oh yeah, that shit say clean your face. I'm gonna go grab that. I seen that on TV, so I'm gonna buy that. When you really is a lot of stuff like
you gotta slide the Ulta. You gotta slide the Ulta. You gotta slide the Sephora and get the good shit.
Hey, listen, I just want to say, man, what other podcast you see have 3 grown men talking about their skincare, take care of their skin?
Exactly.
You don't see this nowhere, man. That's in progress, man. Get with us, man. We ain't up here lying about sleeping with monkeys and shit. Like, we talking real shit. Skincare, men do skincare too. Like,
and
I'm in my soft man era.
Yo, we real versed with what we talk about.
For sure. But it do give you a boost of confidence.
For sure.
Like, so you never, like, you ever hear a chick talking about getting her nails done and all that, and like how she make her feel?
What's the
like,
haircut effect too?
Yeah, it's the same thing. Yeah. So when you get your shit right, you walk out the door like, damn, like I'm really glowing today. Like you really put the. I do, but I usually like once a year, not all the time. Like I might go once a year before vacation.
Yeah,
that's why
for vacation
I used
season.
To do that just vacation. If I was going away, I'd do it. But I had to start doing it like once every 2 weeks.
Yeah,
really?
But I hit my shit in the crib though.
I haven't
like
doing it in a while.
I've been considering doing it because I'm on my. I mean, you can do we on a job, but we on our feet a lot, so you should take care of your feet.
Yeah. But me though, like I'll buy like the stuff at the crib to take care of my feet. Yeah, like to get the dead skin off my feet. Like it's not till you really start talking to a woman and you start noticing shit that we like really just take for granted. Like you look like, oh, my heel kind of rough. Like, well, shit, my heel fucked up.
And the
like,
thing is, like the men would think like, oh yeah, your heel's supposed to be rough. That's how you know. No, like your heels are really not supposed to be like that. Shit, really, the cracking of your skin and all that. That's not normal.
Sidebar: we went to Miami. This was like 2010 or something like that, right? We all went in. Before we went and got our feet done. Except my cousin, he ain't go, so he went and bought the shit from Walgreens and did it himself. We walking down Collins or Ocean Drive, one of them, whatever. One of the bitches was like, "Yo, your feet fucked."
What's the odds that they tell you like your shit fucked up?
I'll never forget that. I ain't gonna say what cousin it was, but he watched and he gonna crack up when he heard this. She was like, "Your feet fucked." She's from Chicago or something.
Wait, she was just walking by.
We had stopped
and talk,
and shit like that.
Oh, all right. So all right. I thought it was like y'all was just walking
we
down.
Had the what they said, Gilettes or whatever.
Chancletas. Yeah.
We had them shits on and all that.
Yeah, that was my thing though. Go get your shit done before you go on. Before you
get your toes out. Yeah, when you got your toes out, it's over.
So he had to do it like he really did it right before we went out.
But no, some people wills be bad already though. Like my homie,
far going, like it's not a pedicure in the world that could have saved him.
Like
dogs.
My homie back in in middle school, he used to wear the S dots, and like they was too small. His shit was balled up, so ain't no coming back. Your shit was mitted. Like his shit was monkey paw now. Like, and he had the corns on his shit and all that. Like he needed a lot of work to bring his shit back to life, but his shit was fucked up as a kid. Like,
yo, females will let you know about yourself, bro.
Yeah.
Put you right on blast.
But I mean, us as men, like we wouldn't care about something until a female tells us that we should care about them. Like, yo, you should take better care of your skin.
And that's crazy.
And you do. Like, you know.
Speaking of better care of your skin, let's go into better care for yourself. This week we're going to talk about therapy at a time when it's like critical, when you know you're going under some changes in your life or something traumatic, and you need to delve into it with a professional. And then we're talking about consistent, ongoing therapy, the differences between the two. What do y'all like to partake in? What do you think is better? Or you can take the lead on that.
I just so I've done both. I've done like therapy in a critical time when like the lowest and darkest time of your life, and then I've done like therapy like ongoing and just like your life is going well and you just go. And I think sometimes you have like two different effects of it, because you'll have the like the critical therapy will teach you like coping mechanisms and survival tactics, and then once you get in that space, I feel like it's hard to get out of that. Whereas like, yo, you know how to function yourself, but you don't know how to adapt that to like being with people or just being more than just value to yourself. Like you got yourself out of a quote unquote sunken place, and you know how to get your wheels turning again. But how do you adapt that back into regular life? Because that's the like example of like critical therapy versus a person who just like going every week and just spilling out what they week details, and just the difference and like how much that critical therapy can put you just into a bubble where you don't really allow people to let you in.
Well, essentially, a critical therapy lead to ongoing therapy.
Yeah, like that's me. Like my first time going to therapy was like at a critical time, and I kind of transitioned out of that. And a lot of times people stop going after the critical point. So after like my shit was like I was on even kill and even ground, I still went a little afterwards. But
so not to cut you off, but so like same. I started going to therapy after I felt like it was a very sunken place.
Yeah.
So now that I'm kind of like out of that sunken place, and I'm more at a better place in my life, right? Mentally, in all aspects, I'm in a very, very good place in my life. I feel very light. So my last, and just to kind of like give an example and give a little bit of insight into what I'm working on now. What we talked about was, all right, so you're at this place where you feel gratitude, but what are you going to do when you're at a spot where you don't know what to be grateful for? Like there's going to be a day where, the day just sucked, you know what I mean? And you can't find the good in it. So how are you going to be able to cope with that at that point? Because right now I'm in a good place, but this too shall pass. Happy times that will pass, sad times will pass. So even though I'm at this place of peace right now, it's not going to last forever. And I understand that. I'm very, very aware of that.
Right.
What am I going to be able to do at that point? And I think that's the difference between the critical and now I'm at the ongoing point where it's just like, what am I going to be able to do now?
Teach you how to cope when the good time go back.
Yeah. Yeah, I get that. Exactly. And I think that's where I was saying, like, what you even in that, like, once you learn the necessary tools to teach you how to stay like even level, how do you attack good things in your life? Because you're so used to being even. Right. So when something good happened to you, how do you come out of that bubble that was created during critical therapy to say that it's okay to enjoy good things in life? Yeah. Because to use the analogy of once you get to the top of the mountain, all that do is make the fall harder. Yeah. Right. Mm-hmm. So the fear in critical therapy, the fear is to balance the falls. And then ultimately it makes you afraid of the climbs. Yeah. So I think that's the biggest thing that you learn when you like in critical therapy is like you learn to like it almost puts you in metaphorically in the middle of the ladder and you kind of stay there. Because it's comfortable there. Right. It's comfortable to be in the middle of the ladder. And how do you move yourself forward to allow yourself to start climbing to the top of the ladder? Because the therapy has also taught you that once you get to that top of the ladder, that it's a fall that comes after that eventually. Yeah. And that's just life. Yeah, but it's like, I feel like critical therapy just teach you to just sit in the middle of the ladder sometimes. Because that's how you get to like an ongoing therapy position.
Okay, yeah, I get what you're saying.
I see. Yeah.
And it's just like, but then like that's the thing though. I feel like so many people go to therapy when it's so critical to them. Like you don't have no choice, especially men, because we hate to go to therapy because a lot of times we driven to therapy under the impression that we in dire straits. Like You need to go to therapy because your life fucked up. You need to go to therapy because you crazy. You need to go to therapy
or you need to go to therapy for someone else. Like somebody's making you go to therapy.
Right, exactly.
You need to fix yourself in order to fix this relationship.
Because if life going good, we don't see.
Right, exactly. So we go in. We only. I think women more likely go to therapy for understanding. We go in dire straits. So we always go to and most likely we go into a form of like critical therapy. And as you transition to like a ongoing therapeutic way, it's like hard to get out of a one space to just like, yo, it's okay to enjoy life. It's okay to accept the ups and downs of life, because we get to a point where we just learn, we dug ourselves out of the hole and we at even ground. And it's like hard. How do you transition? And I'm asking the question to men in general. How do you transition to just like allowing yourself to climb back up that ladder after going through a point of so many lows? You just gotta.
I really don't have an answer for it.
Like taking a risk again.
Yeah.
But the fear of just like when you take the risk again is like, I mean, maybe you gotta rest on the moral that you do know how to get out of it. Like if you got out the hole one time, you can get out of it again, but you can't be scared to climb.
Yeah, you can't be, because if you fall, you know that you've been down there before. You know the steps to get out of that.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? So you feel like you can fall and get back up.
Yeah,
because you've been there before. I feel like.
Yeah, but a lot of men just only go to therapy in like crucial times, and that shit just teach you survival tactics, but it don't really teach you how to love people again.
Yeah,
it don't teach you how to open up to people again, because sometimes you come out of so much hurt that you don't even understand how to like, no, I'm not doing that shit again, because I know where that lead to, or I know where it could lead to. So it's just so much of like, and I think we bottle therapy up in like, oh, I go to therapy. But the person who go to therapy when their life was together and they just need better understanding, and a person who was like kind of hopeless then went to therapy are two different people.
If all you done in therapy was just get your shit out, that therapy has become nothing more than a journal for you.
Yeah.
I see that. Yeah.
But you got to get some type of perspective of things. Like you get perspective, and I tell people all the time, like therapy teach you how to like to manage the baggage that you do carry, but it doesn't. It is up to you what you do with it. Like so, like to use metaphorically that ladder, like that's your choice to keep going up that ladder, or to revert back to who you was. That's simply up to you. Or to stay exactly where you had on that ladder is up to you, and it's like what you choose to do with that is claimly up to you. Like people equate like therapy like with like a life coach. Like they don't tell you what direction to go in. They give you some type of perspective and understanding. Yeah, but people think like they go there, and that was my like premises when I got there. It was like, oh, tell me how to get shit back on the right track. Like. Tell me what to do to feel better. And it's like, and that's what like, critical therapy is. It's like you go in there thinking that somebody gonna tell you how to get your life back together. And people who go in on the space of like, I'm feeling good, but I just need somebody to get this shit out to other than my significant other.
That, or sometimes for me, when I first started going to therapy, what therapy did for me was it gave me a place to say the things that I was scared to say. Or I wasn't able to say. I felt like I wasn't able to say the things I wanted to say in a place where it would be validated to somebody.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I wasn't looking necessarily for validation, but it was just that I knew it wouldn't be heard regardless. So I just wanted to say it out loud to somebody. Like I just needed to say it out loud to another person other than myself to let myself know I wasn't crazy. I guess, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah. Or just a judgment-free zone.
Yeah, I think that's more so. Yeah.
When to get your shit off,
you can tell it to somebody, and
there's no repercussions behind what I say.
Right.
Like I remember like it's been, and I think especially with men, we carry so much weight. Like I remember like times when my grandma was like ill and she was on her deathbed, and like being strong for like my lady and being strong for my kids, but I didn't have nobody to turn to. So I was like, I would put everybody to bed and sit on the kitchen floor and just cry my eyes out. And then that was the only time I felt comfortable enough to do that. Yeah. And then it was the only space created, not because purposely, but like my lady, she needed to lean on me and my kids needed to lean on me. I couldn't lean on them too. So therapy was a place where I can get that shit out and just go about my business and get back to there. So a place in a safe space for men, because we the ones that carry so much of the burden.
Right.
So where you pour that burden that you have out, dude, like, and that's what I use therapy for, to pour that shit out and then get back to life.
Well, it's I don't want to say carry so much of the burden, because I feel like our partners carry the burden too, but we're not able to alleviate our burden on anybody, and that's the difference. Right. Like our partners, they carry the burden, but they're
exactly.
able to at least like tell us our
Exactly.
problems, and we have to be an open ear to it, right? With us, we can't delve into our problems. We can't, even it might be the same exact problem,
Right.
You know what I mean? But we can't own up to that.
It's almost, you ever see that toy where like the little cup turn into that cup, and then they go into that cup, and then they go in that cup. And men are ultimately the biggest
cup.
and last cup
Yep.
that
That's a good
holds
analogy.
everything. And it's like, what do you do with that?
Right.
Like, we're supposed to be the last person to hold it. Like, where do you dump that shit so when them cups start filling back up again, you can hold it? And that's what it is. I always equated to that. Like, with being a man is that, like, you do, that's not to like diminish like a woman. She carries a lot of things.
Right.
But what she carries, she ultimately depends on her man to be able to dump that on them too. And we have to be the last stop for the dump. Like, we are the fucking port. Like, we the port. Like, we that shit, we were that shit dump and then stop. And it's almost, it's scary that it's looked at like as less than when you try to dump it back the other way.
Let me
because
ask you,
don't fit.
Let me ask you something, and this might be a little off topic, but when you chose your therapist, did you choose a woman?
Yeah.
Did you feel like
I felt like that was like what I needed.
Me too.
Yeah, I felt like I needed a woman because it gave me the perspective of what I ultimately wanted. Like, I wanted to put that weight back on a woman, but I couldn't because. And
No, that's exactly what it was.
Yeah,
it gave
yeah.
me the chance to say what I wanted to say to a similar person that I wanted to say these things to, and it was like that I felt like I needed it. You know,
and it's a level of comfort when you say it to a woman,
Right.
Like, I don't know if I'm that comfortable sitting across from a man saying some of those things. Yeah, because of how they might view it, regardless if they professional or not.
Yeah, I need that.
I'm it's life changing,
to.
but it is like, and I've learned that, like, I had to like take a big look at myself when I came to it. It was like that therapy I had when I was like really going through stuff had like numbed me to the world, where I had conversation with people and they like, yo, you don't care about nothing. And it's kind of like self-preservation for me, where it's like, I don't care about too much because I don't want to be too low and I don't want to get too high about things. But I'm ultimately going through life like not giving a fuck about things other than what I really care about. Yeah. Like, am I passionate about my kids and stuff like that? Am I passionate about my peace?
That's never
it's
gonna
priority.
go. Yeah.
That's never gonna go nowhere. But everything else can be really here or not here. Yeah. And that's what like critical therapy has taught me. Like, oh, fuck, that shit come and go. Mm-hmm. But I think we need to distinguish the two and understand when you in one and when you in the other.
Yeah, I take the ongoing therapy as somebody who does the work after, you know, the critical shit has happened. Like when you like I said, I'm at the point right now where I'm cool mentally. I'm probably the best I've been in years.
Too many times though, we go through that and then we think that, oh yeah,
I don't need it
I'm
anymore.
done. I don't need it no more.
But I recognize this is the time where I need it probably the most.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because I've dumped on my shit, like as far as
because
like,
we view it
everything that's
as we view it as, I ain't mean to cut you off, but we view it as the end when it's only just like steps up,
Right.
Like, because it doesn't teach you how to like re-associate with people, like identify, like, you know. Well, that was good.
Yeah, it was deep.
You gotta get there, Hev. We didn't talk to you 75 episodes and you ain't had a session yet.
77. We just finding out about your lady skincare routine and you talking about you going to therapy every episode.
You just said,
It's just the steps to get.
where they
there.
gonna
Like,
get to?
I
Where they
need to-
gonna get to that? Like,
I need to just figure out just how to get there. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like
you gotta take
the steps to get.
You gotta take a dedicated effort to, like, you know what?
I'm going to do
fuck
this.
what I got going on. I'm gonna find me a therapist.
Yeah,
I'm
that's
gonna
what I
go,
definitely need.
even if it's a matter of like, yo, I'm gonna reach out to them and ask them who they go to or
I
how
don't-
they went about it.
And I think I don't want to make this into a martyring session for you. Like I really don't. I'm not trying to like. All jokes aside, I'm not trying to like judge you. I know we joking, right? But all seriousness, I don't know. I can't speak for Trev or for sport, but for me, when I first started going to therapy, I was at the very lowest time.
Right.
I'm talking about like y'all know about the passion. I'm talking about lower than that. Like
Yeah.
like all right, so like I'm cool with it because I've deleted episodes where I've talked about this before.
Yeah.
I wanted to kill myself, and I like this is like 2 weeks after that. I was calling crisis hotlines because I'm talking about I just got in an argument with my lady and she telling me that I ain't want to have kids with you no more. So my whole identity was at that point diminished, right?
Question, yeah.
And we talked about this on the pod before too, where I was saying that like that piece, like that one piece of my identity was questioned. I felt like I had nothing left from the one person that, you know, I felt like should have validated me the most, and the one thing that I validated myself in the most at was questioned at that point.
Right.
So I didn't know who the fuck I was anymore in that moment. Right. So it was just like I don't want to be here no more. Like, what, you know what I mean? What am I doing here?
Yeah.
So at that point, I was just like, yo.
If your purpose
this,
not your purpose.
my purpose isn't my purpose anymore. So why am I here?
Right.
And the fact that the one thing that stopped me from doing it was I was writing out my letter, and I started naming my kids and writing my letter to my kids in that moment. And I was like, yo, I can't go.
Right.
Like I can't go. Like I'm listing my kids right here. Like how selfish of me.
Right.
For me to, and granted, even that is the wrong mindset. There's this, because I'm still thinking about other people and not myself in that moment, right? So I don't want you to, not to say that you go in anything that will push you to that point, but I don't want you to be at that point where
Get there,
you get there and all of a sudden you may not come to that coming to Jesus moment where, oh, I want therapy now.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
So I want you to get there before that happens.
Nah, I do. I need to get there. I had this I'm gonna say a strong conversation with my lady this weekend, and it just made me feel like I'm fucked up,
Yeah.
and I do need the help. You know what I'm saying?
I get that. Yeah.
Like
And
that shit gave me like a realization that I'm really fucked up. Like when I hear it coming from somebody else that I love and love me, like you know what I'm saying?
especially when it's coming from in a positive way.
Exactly.
Like so many times men get it in such a loving
When
way.
they say, like,
It's
oh, you need therapy,
you
because
crazy,
you crazy.
you
Yeah,
crazy,
exactly.
you bipolar, you need help,
Right.
you this and that, and it's so negative that that's the shit that push you away from that. When somebody can give you that loving way, or like, yo, I want you to get some help and stuff like that. That should be like a calling call to do things like that.
Yeah.
But I mean, just the fact that it's been so beneficial, like,
Right.
and I said that, like, man, we wait till it's the hardest time in our lives to go. Like, I wish I had somebody. That was my biggest thing. I wish I had somebody to tell me to go before I didn't have no choice but to go. Like, it was like either try this or like almost like Ski said, like, it's just like you just don't want to be here no more. Like, it's either try something like this or like I was really at a point of like hopelessness. And it's like I even had to swallow the fact that, like, yo, I'm going to do something that everybody said I should do, and it's like they said that I need it and I didn't do it, and it's like even in that fact I feel like they right, and I'm
you
like,
almost
I'm
do
fucking
it out of
wrong.
spite.
Yeah, and I'm like, and I still feel like I'm doing something that somebody else told me I was fucking nuts for doing or I needed, and they told me that I was like, because it was depicted to me like almost like, yo, you a fucking wild animal, you need to get some help.
Right.
Yeah, and in my situation, it was twofold, because the biggest sacrifice I did and where we worked at, I thought was the most beneficial thing to what my life had become, and it granted me so many benefits, from the houses, the cars, the way my kids live. Everybody benefit from that. And to hear that somebody can say that turned me in such of a monster of a person, and it's like, oh yeah, but you reap so many benefits from
yep.
it. But for somebody to tell you there's so much sacrifice you made, they spite you for it.
Right.
It's kind of hard to like equate. Like you can't even think about it. Like what the fuck? Like you don't see it the way I see it.
Right.
And like it's like you're not taking the good with the bad, but you shouldn't maybe. But at the same time, I'm looking at it like my viewpoint on it. Whatever it turned me to, it was a necessary evil because it got us so much.
In a way, you feel like you sacrificed yourself.
Yeah, exactly.
For the benefit,
and it was
of them.
unappreciated.
And it was unappreciated.
And that's the biggest thing about it is that when you look at it and it's all resolved, all of it's unappreciated. Yeah. And it's like you really go to a point where, and I tell, like, I've been vocal about it because so many people go about it at a point where like they lost and they don't have nothing left. Like if I could save you from that way of going about it and just like even when you to really tell, like have be going through some shit and don't even tell us, and then you be like, yo, I've been going through the shit the last 3 weeks. And it's like, what the fuck? We didn't even know you was going through shit. Like have it be like, yo, this has been a busy month for us. I'm like, we couldn't tell. Like, you know what I mean? Like
that's what I struggle with. I struggle with the fact that I've always been like a person that keep all my shit to myself. Like anything that go with me, I don't have nobody to talk to. Even like my lady or even my mom or my brother, I wouldn't tell them some of my deepest, darkest shit that I'm going through. Yeah, I keep all that shit to myself. It's just how I always been,
and it's just how you operate.
It's how I operate. But now it's like I'm keeping so much shit in that shit is like bottling up, and it's like feel like it's about to burst out of me where I'm about to do something. You know what I'm saying?
And so then my thing was not to say you, but me. I was fine. I was ultimately getting that shit out, and I didn't like. I'm considering myself that like, oh, I can't do therapy for like crazy people, right? But I'm sitting there and letting a woman be my therapist, like. Yeah, I'm pulling up to talk to a chick at 2 in the morning and telling her all my fucking problems.
Doing things that are therapeutic.
I'm doing therapeutic shit with people.
But even with that,
that's not professionals. That even, people just
not to cut you off. Even for me, like my therapy was going to the gym. I'm gonna lift weights and you know what I mean. I'm gonna just sit there and bang shit around and lift heavy, and that's my therapy. That's my therapy. But it never was. You know, I was still angry, and I'm sitting there lifting these weights because I'm fucking angry.
Yeah, and you start searching for that feel good, and I was channeling that feel good in everybody else. Like I was telling myself that if everybody else felt good around me, then I felt good. And when I really didn't, I didn't fucking feel good at all. Like I didn't feel good at all.
I think I was giving people just enough to feel like to see if you understand me. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like
just enough to
not giving you everything, but let's see if you can understand.
If I can feel comfortable, or
my perspective. And it's like
I feel like I could never give it. That's a whole thing with me. Not going to therapy because I feel like even with a therapist, I can't give it all. Like I feel like I got to keep some shit to myself.
And here's the thing, and I don't want you to be discouraged. The first person that you meet may not be the one because I've been through,
and I don't want that to turn me off. You know what I'm saying?
So like I've like I said, I've said it before. I've gone through numerous consultations. I even had a therapist for a few good sessions where at the time where it was critical for me, and I just needed to air my shit out, right? But after once the climax reached and it was starting to go into decline, I realized that my shit was a little too much for her. Okay. And I don't feel like she really understood. It was a cultural thing too, because she was a white woman. Yeah. So I didn't feel like she totally understood the scope of things that was going on. Right. So at that point I'm like, all right, I had to switch where I'm going and go with somebody else, and that's what I decided to go with a black woman. Okay, and
it's been better,
thriving. I'm so happy with where I'm at.
That's good.
So
get there, I swear.
Like I said, I don't want you to be discouraged off of one consultation or the one session that you have. It's like, no, that's not it.
No, but I keep that in the back of mind because I know y'all said that before, so. When I finally do, I'm like,
it's a relationship. Might not be
the one,
and it's the work that you like. The reason why they say like men do better in therapy than women, because we able to look ourselves in the mirror and be like honest, and logical. Like she can like your therapist gonna bring some shit to you, and you be like, you know what, you are right. Like maybe I am looking at that shit totally wrong. Like my biggest thing was, and I tell a story all the time, like. I was a big component of like what my family said about me. And it was like, I would like walk away from my immediate family when I thought, not my immediate family in my house, but like my relatives, when I thought they were spreading my business around.
Okay.
But my therapist told me, he was like, well, when they speak good about you though, you don't tell them to shut up then. So who the fuck are you to think that you could tell them to shut up when they don't have nothing nice to say?
Right.
And it's like, yeah, you bask in that when they say good shit about you, but when they got bad stuff about you, oh, they such horrible people. Like, who the fuck are you? And that was like a big component of me having to look at myself in the mirror, like, yo, who, like you really think that you above criticism, but you're not above praise, like.
That was probably, was that where you feel like that was one of your biggest things?
That was the biggest thing, and it just taught me how to things, and it just let me know that people just gonna talk, like people gonna talk, like, you know what I mean. My
biggest thing was I used to think a lot of people used to operate out of malice, and only towards me, right? Somebody cuts me off in traffic, oh, they try to fuck with me, or they, you know what I mean, like it's me. Right. It's not that, oh, they could be late for work, they having a bad day, or they just need to get the fuck in the lane, like something like that, right? And or how people react towards me, even though it may be something that could be perceived for something that's malicious, may not be out of malice towards me. Maybe they acted out of embarrassment. Maybe they acted because they were just angry, and that could be trauma from the past. You know what I mean? Whatever it could be. It's not necessarily something that's towards me. That was my biggest thing.
Yeah. And that's the thing though, like therapy can tell you that, yo, you not that important.
Yeah.
But if you can't accept that, you gonna say, no, I am that fucking important. Yeah. And you be like, yo, she don't know what the fuck she talking about. Yeah, exactly.
I mean, that's how I was at first, because when she said it, I was like, yeah, I hear you, but nah, that's some bullshit. And I said that to her too, that's some bullshit. And then the next session, like a couple weeks later, I was like, you know what, you said that, and I really thought about it, and you was right. You was right.
Yeah. That was good though. What about manufacturing hard times? Do you believe in manufacturing hard times? Because you know the wise saying that, I can't quote it, but it's like, you know, strong men breed easy times, easy men bring hard times, and like the circle of like the harder you work and the harder you on your kids, make it more easier for them, and ultimately make it harder for their kids. Like it's almost a back and forth. Do you believe that you're supposed to manufacture hard times for your kids just to make them strong enough to be able to survive? Not survive, but you know what I mean.
I obviously not to the extreme.
Not to the extreme.
But I do believe that I had a habit of, especially with my son, right, and him being autistic, I had a habit of doing things for him when he was very young. So like we were trying to, just for example, and this is a very minute example, but he had issues with his use of language. Vocabulary was impeccable. Like his vocabulary is great. He doesn't know how to use his language, so he didn't know how to tell me. He knows what goldfish are, right? He didn't know how to tell me, oh, I want goldfish, I'm hungry. He used to just like point or make noises, or he would just get upset about it. And me knowing his cues, I would just get it for him, right? But that's just me being a dad and not really thinking about the scope of
trying to find the easiest route to the point. Yeah,
not even the easiest thing. I just know I just know what he wants, right?
Yeah.
So after I thought about, like, listen, like me doing this isn't benefiting him anyway. I don't care how upset you get. You need to tell me what you want.
Yeah.
My fault. No, I need water. Go ahead, y'all go ahead.
Yeah, you got an example, Hev, or?
I don't have an example, but I do believe that you should show them that everything's not going to be easy. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like giving them
opportunity,
giving them everything or helping them with everything is not how the real world is.
Yeah, and like you said, it ultimately makes them softer.
It makes them softer, or it makes them, when they get to a situation, they're not gonna know how to maneuver it because they never been there. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But if they never had hard times, and they're not gonna know how to deal with life when they get hard. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So it's like you should try to show them both sides. I know it's hard when it's your kids. You don't want to see them, like you don't want to see them keep crying or over something they can't do. Like eventually you're gonna want to be like, like help them and fix it for them. But to let them fight through it, it would make them better. as they come along.
Not even just from like a hard and soft perspective, but also like as you grow into adult, you need some sort of perseverance. You can't just have like
everything can't come easy.
It's not. It's just not realistic of life.
Right.
You have to figure out how to deal with things and call audibles with your life.
Exactly.
And figure shit out.
Right.
Yeah, you can't problem solve. Like that was my thing. I was trying to constantly problem solve for them, and I thought that was the making of being a dad is problem solving for them, and that like the definition of a good dad is like if I can save you some bumps, not knowing that ultimately you need these bumps to be who you ultimately need. I want you to be, or what you should be. Like the strength in you will come from these bumps and bruises. I'm trying to save you. Like I can't become the man I am if I don't take some of the bumps and bruises I take. And me trying to save you from all of those are not going to make you to the person that you need to be.
At the end of the day, as a father, you're supposed to be a parachute, but you're supposed like your kids are going to fall, and you're supposed to allow them to fall.
Yeah,
and it ain't going to be a soft landing. You know what I mean? You're not going to be the mattress for them to land on. You're nothing more than a parachute to alleviate the blow.
Yeah. Right. So like my son, y'all know my son, my middle child. His name is Noel, but on the paper, people just pronounce it Noel. Oh. So when we go for baseball and stuff like that, I'm like, yo, you gotta. And I never even thought about this in terms of school. I'm like, because he's been at the same school for a couple years now. So as he go to the next class, most of the times people already know him. I tell him like, you got to tell a coach what your name is. Right. I'm not telling the coach what your name is. Right. That's your job. Right. You tell him. Don't just let him call you what he want to call you. Yeah. I'm like, you have to tell him, and that's not my job to do it. And it's like, it's just a matter of teaching you to stand up for yourself, just in general. So it's just things like that. And it's like, if you don't teach your kids things, or you always try to save them from every blow, I could have easily been like, no, that's not his name. That's not what I named him. But that's him. He got to do that because it's going to be a day where I'm not going to be around to tell him to tell somebody.
Or even like, all right, so like, I'm glad you brought that up with your son. So like, even with like with my daughter, right? We were talking about like she was having some trouble in school. We were talking about things for like accommodations for tests and stuff like that. I broke it down to her like, listen, baby, you need to tell the teacher that if you don't understand something that she says.
Yeah.
So tell her to repeat the question. Tell her to repeat it more slowly, and you know, pay attention to it. And ultimately, sometimes that's all it is.
That's it. Yeah.
But you need to be able to advocate for yourself, because I'm not going to be able to advocate for you in times when I'm not there.
Yeah.
I'll do the most I can do.
Yeah.
But when you're there alone, you have to prepare your kids to operate in this world. And sometimes the least you can do is just tell them to speak up.
And that's a good attribute to have, like speak up, because there's so many people that won't speak up for themselves.
Yeah.
And you see like what they go through because they won't speak up for themselves.
They don't speak up. You let people.
Yeah, that's a good trait or a good thing to teach the kids, like to know how to speak up for themselves. Because again, like I said, we're not always going to be around to save you. So you need to know how to save yourself.
But I think we have to have that in parenting. We have to have that honest conversation where it's like you have to almost manufacture like tough times to teach them these things. Because if not, because especially when you come up and like not having your dad around, or having a strenuous relation with your dad, or your dad and you, whatever the case may be, you just think that you got to give them what you don't have, what you didn't have. Yeah. And then that almost, it bubbles them. And it becomes to the point that where like you almost enabling them, because you trying to give them so much that you didn't have, that you also giving them more than you would ever have if you had a present father. And then that too is like you can't live out the story. Like my thing is like I can't base my relationship with my kids around my relationship with my father.
What you didn't have. Right?
Yeah, what I didn't have. And it solely has to be with a relationship I want with them. I can't overcompensate because I can't have a father, or I can't undercompensate because, my father wasn't around, so why you need one? Like, you know what I mean? And you hear that get echoed a lot in our community. It's like, I ain't have a dad, he don't need a dad. Like, yeah.
And unbeknownst to you, like when you do that, you don't realize it, but you only parent from a time where you were parented.
Yeah.
So if your father left you at 7, that's all you know how to parent to.
Right.
That's all you know how to be a father to as a 7-year-old. Once they reach that threshold of teenagers, you don't know what the fuck you dealing with at this point.
Yeah, exactly.
That's true.
So that's why you, like you were saying, but you need to be comprehensive in how you parent.
Yeah. And you really have to know that you don't know everything.
Right.
My biggest component is I don't know everything. Like I'm learning on the fly. And as long as I learn on the fly, I can always adjust. If I think I got it all figured out, that's the moment I don't have it figured out. Like if I think that I'm great at this dad shit, like people give me a lot of flowers for being a great dad and all that, but I'm quick to say like, yo, yeah, I'm learning as I do. Like I'll sit back now and like reflect on something and like, yeah, I gotta handle that better. Or like I'll even have conversations with my kid's mom and she like, yo, you letting Nori get over on you. Like, and I'm like, yeah. And it's like, yeah, you need to be tougher than that. And it's like, all right, I gotta buckle down. Like, and it's like you learning, like, you know, I can't just say like, oh, that's my baby and that's my daughter and that's my princess. She's above being told no. Like, no, she's not. Like, yeah. So we have to learn how to parent, and like it's always an evolving thing. But we can't overcompensate for your dad not being around. Like, cause that was a big thing with my dad. Like my dad in his 40s would tell me, I remember my pop being 35, 40 and I'm being 11 and he's still telling me how he's struggling to be a good dad to me because his dad wasn't a good dad to him. And equating the two, like you can't, I can't be this for you because I didn't have this either. Well, ultimately, you need to just try your best. Like, yeah, exactly. And not like you really shift the blame or like, you know. And
it's a cop out.
Yeah, it is. It's ultimately a cop out. Yeah. And then that's how you say when people say like, yo, I don't really know how to be a dad. It ain't a manual to it. It's not a manual. It's not a study guide. It's effort and learning. Like, you know.
You just got to do.
You know
what you don't want for your kids. You know what you don't want them to have to go through. And if you could do anything to stop them from going through anything, you just got to do it. Like, you know what I'm saying? You just got to get up and do it. I'm not saying it's easy, but
it's not easy. But the biggest thing we live through like stereotypes and perception of like what things supposed to look like. If your reality is not that you eat dinner at the table at 5 o'clock, don't make it your reality. But that don't mean it ain't right. Like, you know, y'all might eat in front of the fucking TV at 7 a.m. or everybody might eat in their own room. But whatever the case may be is your structure is your structure.
Right.
Yeah. You still make sure them kids eat.
Yeah, they all ate, right? Yeah, facts.
You know what I mean?
Well, speaking of things that are normal, on this week's What Man Can't Do. What we got this week?
Let me see. What do we have? Is on you have or is on me? It's on you. We got it was a tweet. As a man, this is wild. As a man, why are you in the sneaker store trying on shoes?
Ew, I swear these things be wow. I love them though.
So you can't try on sneakers?
We ain't allowed to try on shoes. I don't though.
I don't. Yeah, I guess when you get a certain age, you know your size.
Here's the thing. So I don't either because I usually just buy my shoes online. But how many pairs of shoes have you bought, right? And you like sit back like, damn, I wish I would have tried these on first.
Yeah, or you don't know how they cut. Like they might be cut narrowed and all that.
That
like
is true.
So I just bought like a couple, like probably like a year ago. I bought them. I don't know if you've seen the Mac Attacks that re-released.
Yeah. So
they cut skinny as shit.
Yeah.
Like I bought I think a half size up, and they still uncomfortable.
Yeah.
I wish I never bought them shits, but had I tried the motherfuckers on, I wouldn't have bought them.
But just imagine you getting there and they like you grab me get.
So like
you get them like you bring them out, so I'm gonna try them on.
So like, what's is it the sock that they give you to try on the shoe, like the little stocking?
Yeah, the little stocking, right. Or
the little ankle
I
stocking.
think they just think men should already know what fucking size you wear. You think? I don't know. All this shit.
I did feel offended. Like I did go to the store not too long ago and grab some new sneaks, and they brung them out, and he was like, "You like." She like walked over to where I was at with the sneaks, and my like looking at her, I'm like, "No, take them behind the counter. I'm gonna just buy them. Like, what you bringing them over here for? Like, well, all actuality, I should have tried them on, but don't tell me that like, oh, like you shouldn't be trying them on."
See, I mean, I don't like shopping in stores anyway, so I never like trying on clothes. I never like trying on sneakers. That's me personally.
Yeah.
I never like being in. I never like the motherfuckers coming up to you. Can I help you? I never like asking where is
that
this
was a
at?
wild time. Like the
never,
early
like-
2000s,
Oh, yeah.
they was harassing you in fucking stores.
I
Like,
told
they
you.
really was harassing you.
You walk into a Foot Locker now, they don't even look at you.
They don't even look at you now. But before they was really harassing. You find
they said,
anything?
like-
We got the new such and such that came out.
Yeah.
Look, they're like them.
What size you wear? I know we got your size.
Like,
Like,
stores, them secret stores, you had like bad Rican girls.
Yeah,
trying to
yeah.
get you. I remember I left out of the joint. I think I said this in one episode. I left out of the joint with this canary yellow
yeah,
polo.
yeah,
shit.
Oh, I forgot Canary Head.
Yeah, all polo yellow shit because this bad Rican joint was like, no, this
that's
is
what
good on
happened.
you.
That's what happened. And they
I'm
used
like,
to
I'm
follow
getting
you
that
around the
around the
store.
whole store,
Like
yeah.
at the early, like
It was the
2000 to 2010. These motherfuckers was harassing you in City Blue and the net and shit like that. They was really on your ass in there.
Bro, I hate it. I still to this day I hate that shit. Like I don't.
Now
even,
you can't get served. You gotta find somebody to
You
get you a
can't
fucking
find
shoe.
nobody. If they
Yeah.
work in the store, they not giving you no
It's a
eye
motherfucker
contact.
walking the he working the register and that's
real
it.
shit, yeah.
Like even I felt offended that like you got like if you go in what's the sneaker store now? Snipes. You go in Snipes, you literally gotta scan the shoe yourself and see if it's in stock. Like yeah.
Oh no!
Yeah.
Oh,
like it
no.
literally might be only one or two people working in the whole fucking store. They like, yeah, scan it right here and see if it's in stock.
tell you.
No, go in the back.
No, motherfucker, you take
Go
the
in
shoe,
bag.
you find it back there.
I want you
Yeah.
to tell me it's not in stock.
Yeah,
Oh,
exactly.
you got scanning now.
Even
Wasted
me,
time.
like I went to the mall not too long ago, and my daughter got some shoes, and they like the shoe was the display shoe. Like, oh, you gotta give me something off.
Yeah,
of
they
the
supposed to
display.
say that. They don't do that no more?
Display shit.
Yeah.
They don't do that no more?
And I just never experienced that in so long.
Oh, all right.
But
I'm
I'm
about to
asking
say.
to myself, like when he brought me down, he brought out the box. There was one in there. He got the shoe off the thing. I'm like,
remember-
oh, that's the display shoe. He
You
gotta
remember-
give me
got
some
to
money
come
off.
off that
Yeah,
But,
way.
yeah.
but the display shoe now. Remember, City Blue used to have the Saran wrap around
Saran
it,
wrap around
and they
it,
would
yeah,
try
yeah.
to sell you that motherfucking
Fuck
shoe
yeah,
with the
yeah.
Saran wrap around. it.
Yeah.
No, I don't want you.
Samsung. I'm like, I don't want that shit. Yeah.
Oh.
That's what is it? Samsung on South
Samsung,
Street.
yep,
That motherfucker was wrapped tight in there. Like everything was wrapped tight in that motherfucker. For sure. But I think it's wild. I think some of them we should be able to do it, but I can understand why somebody'll be like, let's see if you with your lady. And she like, yo, you really gonna try them on? Motherfucker, you been a 10 and a half all your life. You been a 9 your whole life. Like, why you trying them on?
Bitch, if we was in fucking
Yeah.
Neiman's right now, was a pair of Louboutins in front of your face, you
You
be
would
trying
try
them
them
on.
on.
So don't judge
Yeah.
me for trying on
Now
my
it's
damn Air
wild to get
Maxes.
it's wild to get your feet measured though.
Oh, do they still got the machines?
Yeah, they still got them. Like I took my kids to get his feet.
For real?
measured.
For
Yeah,
kids,
yeah,
though.
yeah,
They ain't for
yeah,
grown
yeah.
ass men. I
No,
don't
but the
think.
joint big enough.
Chill, my
the
feet still growing.
the
My
motherfucker
feet
big
still-
enough though to
my
fit your
feet
feet.
still
Yeah, yeah,
My feet still
Yeah.
growing.
As a grown ass man,
Yo, bro.
you're not supposed to get your feet
But when
checked.
you see a boy, they be like, yo, bro, measure me up real quick. This fucking hangnail. This hangnail. I got a corn. Measure me up real fast.
I ain't gonna lie. Next fantasy draft, the loser, whoever the loser got get their feet measured at Foot Locker.
Yeah. Stop. They looked at me crazy when I asked them, like, yo, I need these kids' feet measured. This shit. Get my
The
shit
kids,
too.
I can see you. No,
Yeah.
not you. Don't put your motherfucking. Even my son. My
The
son.
fucking joint go to like 12 or 13. They can measure feet. Like,
My son is 15. He wears size 16.
yeah.
Like I wouldn't even take him to get his shoes.
I ain't gonna lie. I probably should have got because ever since I broke my toe, I'm a half size up
Half
there.
size up, yeah,
So
yeah,
I probably
yeah.
should get,
Yeah.
but I probably should get my feet measured.
Yeah.
do that shit yourself. Don't go in the store.
But that's me
and
too.
do
I
that.
can't wear certain shoes. Like some Yeezys,
Yeah.
I stick
done.
my foot in.
Yeah,
Fuck
get
no.
done.
My
You
foot
gotta
will go
try them on.
numb. My foot will go numb. Like I got Yeezys now that I just don't wear no more because my feet go numb in them because of the way they fit.
But that was episode 77 of the
Measure your
DI.
feet, gang.
That's
measure
the
your
Progress
feet.
Podcast.
As usual, don't measure your feet. It's like, as long as you're in progress, you're not failing. It's the dip.
We out.
We out.